Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, it's the Red Arrow! Riding in our world famous 99 team, all red, white and blue, as the team starts to ease up and come to the left for a rolling display arrival. As the team come around to the left, you can see that top view of our world famous 99. It's absolutely fantastic to be in that shape once again. Leading the team this year is a new team leader. That's red one. It's squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. He's been in the team previously for 5 years. He took a year out before coming back in 2024 as the team leader. He's been red 2, 6 twice, and red 4 in 2022. In from the left, in Big Vixen. Bondy was a former Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Takana. Pilots in the Red Arrows. We have Red 1 through 9 in front of you. There's myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, qualified flight instructor on the Hawk Team Mark 2. And Red 11, Officer Commanding Rafat, Wing Commander Adam Collins. He was actually in the back of Red 4 today. Those of you who saw the news last Saturday, a week ago today, unfortunately for Red Arrow, the Royal Air Force, friends and family lost a very dear friend in the tragic accident at RAF Consby. And in tribute to Squad Leader Mark Long, this is Spitfire. He's known as Creamy, having been creamed off as an instructor. Now see the aircraft start to make their way forward with Reds 8 and 9 splitting to fit on the outside. 6 and 7 will split. Get your cameras ready for the colourful Phoenix. Responsible for being a mentor for the new pilots this season. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark 2. Roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings up slightly to the left to fly the Tornado down the line. This is the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team in short diamond. 1 year, a former Typhoon pilot and also flown the Tornado Kilo. That's Ian come round to the right, showing our famous red, white and blue stripe. For the world's famous Synchro Halves.
Is operated by number 6 Flying Training School in partnership with Barclay International Group, primarily flying university aircraft students and air cadets. There are 13 air experience flights across the UK that offer flights up to 20,000 each year.
An Allison 250 turbo prop with about 350 shafts. A lot of aircraft have been converted over to these turbo props. There's quite a good range as well. There's Muskie giving a big wave. Red 10 getting off to the red next display. And, he has a lot of experience with not only the NAT but also supersonic with electric lightning. Coming in from your right now, the Fond NAT. At a length of 9.6 metres or about 31 feet. Nonetheless, a very, very effective machine, both in the training role and as a fighter. Developed from another private venture aircraft built by Fon called the Midge. It was a light fighter, but it found its forte as a lightweight supersonic jet trainer. It was intended to be manufactured by countries not highly industrialised and did not require very much by the way of special tooling. So the English electric lightning. Initially the RAF showed no interest at all in the private venture and the 6 evaluation aircraft, but orders did come in from Finland, Yugoslavia and India. This sort of motivated NATO to the Hunter actually dwarfs the NAT. The NAT trainer manufactured with a redesigned wing, increased fuel and more powerful engine, together with increased fuselage capacity for more equipment. It was fitted with a plastic you can see that on the aircraft now. You have a look at the cockpit area when Tony brings the aircraft in. You can see just how great the visibility is. A good friend of mine, he was seconded to the 25th TAS, which is the Tactical Air Support Squadron. He flew around Vietnam and armed troops. Close air-to-ground operations with friendly forces. They could really pinpoint bomb. See, the gear is now down, coming in for a steep approach. So Tony has actually landed the aircraft here for the previous 2 shows. This is designed to be very, very rugged to operate on unprepared strips. It's also fitted with North American Aviation protection seats. Could actually carry up to 4 7.62 M60 machine guns. Steep approach there. That is a typical approach to be using for a ground firing pass, using those 4 machine guns. And a very survivable using the OV-10A and later on the OV-10D for night ops from 1969 and continued to operate through Operation Desert Storm in 1995. Entered the US Air Force infantry in July 1968 under what they called Operation Combat Bronco, which was an evaluation of the type to see how suitable it would be for that operation. There's another strafing pass, generally a very steep angle. This looks gentle, they did a lot more in combat operations, generally rolling out at the top of the trees to aircraft carry all sorts of different systems, including the laser target designator and using the name called were 64 US Air Force aircraft, 10 US Marine Corps and 7 US Navy machines. Look at that beautiful handling and a very exuberant wave there from Tony. Pointing up at different so there he is waving, ladies and gentlemen, giving him a huge wave because he can certainly see you from that cockpit. And look at the acceleration. Actually looks a lot smaller. About 150 of them have been built, both as kits and also some factory aircraft. Sitting going upside down, jumping backwards into rotation. So another light wings pass. Get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the split break from the mono team.
And look how quickly it gets there.
Very, very short takeoff and landing run. This is one of the great advantages. Pete's been flying for over 33 years. He first had a gyroplane display authority in 1991 and became a display authority for graduating in 2012. He's attended major airshow displays across the UK, New Zealand and also throughout Europe. Over 3,000 hours flying gyroplanes, won the first British Gold Colibri Award, at 4th place in the first World Microlight Championship and has set FAI world distance records. So, very accomplished pilot.
Earth Roundup, and this is awarded to some people who have flown around the world in a
machine that would certainly not be doing any of the Aerobatic This aircraft was highly successful in its role as an aerial observation post. The mark determination of AOP6 by the way, and somebody took a pistol with it and that changed all of that. But aerial observation posts, AOP, or as it's better known, forward air control, is something that very specific aircraft are designed to do. Now, this aircraft follows on from the World War II machines used by the Allies, in this case the Oster. The Americans used the L4 Grasshopper, which is basically a Piper Cub, as the Piper says. We only made it in green to turn into a military machine. This is powered by a 145 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy Major. It's an inverted 4-cylinder air-cooled inline engine. It's a rugged and reliable engine, manufactured for many, many years. Now this is different to its predecessor in that it featured a much strengthened fuselage, the higher power Gypsy Major engine, lengthened undercarriage struts due to a larger propeller needed to absorb the power of the different engine, and also external flaps that do not contract into the wing. Fence so that they go over the fence because they can be picked up by the wind. We don't know what they can possibly do if one of the aeroplanes picks them up. So we would please ask you if you're going to fly those gliders, certainly have a bit of fun with them. Pick them back from another training aircraft, very small, the original ones, but were characterised by an unbelievably tall undercarriage. Refinements of the type with increased power and larger cockpit, refined aerodynamics as well. They introduced the T5, the T5A, and there were other export versions that were sent to Ceylon, Sudan, Iraq, and also Venezuela.
So lots of opportunity for some photographs as the aircraft makes what it's done to the passes.
See the DC-6 coming in now. Get those cameras ready because this is certainly going to be a great photo opportunity. And the B-25. Coming back in again, the DC-6 from the left. Absolutely elegant aircraft they maintain, and a very forgiving aircraft for pilots because it had very benign flight characteristics. By 1949, the DC-6 was being operated worldwide services to USA to Europe, Latin America, Sydney, Australia, Manila, Honolulu. Those were the days when B-25 can carry up to 3,000 pounds of bombs. It can also carry up to 5-inch. It also can be fitted with a ventral shuttle for 2,000-pound Mark 13 torpedo in the Pacific. As you can see, the DC-6 not generally seen in these sort of flight conditions as an airliner, but an incredible performer. Military versions of the DC-6 included the VC-118, the Independence was bought as a transport for President Harry Truman, and fitted with 25 seats. It was a bit more luxury, together with 12 beds. Another was used by President John F. Kennedy as Air Force One until it was replaced by the Boeing VC-137, the military version of the 707. It therefore became the very last piston-engined US presidential transport aircraft. Beautifully flown there by Raymond Reed. B-25 flown by Frederick Hillman. And of course these aircraft polished within an inch of their lives. And far east against the Japanese, but were used with great effect on the continent immediately preceding D-Day, where they attacked positions behind the front lines, or what would become the front lines, involving transport, bridges, anything that would supplies and troops back guns in that bulked up nose, rather than the bomb aimer's position. Again, the DC-6 coming in. It's an absolutely beautiful paint scheme there, so simple and so elegant.
The restoration of this DC-6 took 3 years, thousands of man-hours to complete. It was transferred over to the American register that it has today, and it's just been as a beautiful example of this.
And coming in fast and low, as they did in the Pacific, the B-25. They are really beautifully performing aircraft. You can see the tail turret current position between the twin tails there. I can tell you when you're flying in one of those aircraft and seeing that tail tone, those two vertical tails move quite a lot. A little bit disconcerting for a first time passenger. To the solid nose that had those multiple banks of machine guns, they also produced a specific model, the G and the H, and it had a shorter nose with a 75mm cannon. Hand-loaded by the Navy also used these aircraft per side. And that together with the machine guns to be Australian guns. 25. Very, very maneuverable machines. You could almost hear them like a flight.
My firefights were taking use of fire practice in America. Thankfully, no action was used, and it was discovered by the flying monster.
They are incredible aircraft. It was said that you can always tell a pilot or a co-pilot which year he reaches death. Because they are very noisy. Normally, they've got individuals or stacks, but in the later models, filled up the entire longbow as a fuel tank.
So what's it like taking a long flight across the sea?
Very long, and there's a lot of manure out there. I can assure you of that.
That's definitely something we take for granted nowadays, flying on a large airline, but an aircraft this old, it's another undertaking. Last pass coming up now. Long bay doors are open. .50 long, 30-foot wingspan, maximum speed of Mach 2. Armed with either one or two 30mm Aiden cannon and 6 hardpoints for missiles, 10,000 pounds of bomb, drop tanks, all sorts of missiles that can carry. Flown today by, as I said, Lars Martinsson of the Swedish Air Force historic. That's just incredible. We're looking for a
squadrons. Manufactured the vast majority of its frontline aircraft. The group is organised particularly on military lines with separate divisions for maintenance and operation of the jet, piston engine aircraft, airworthiness management and flight operations. Radar and missile system. The main armament was the Hughes Falcon missile manufactured in the United States and only one 30mm cannon with the space for the second cannon occupied by the missile guidance system. Air Force historic flight.
So welcome to the flying circus, ladies and gentlemen. Get your cameras out. It's very rare that the aircraft actually do this. The bunting is something special they've done for us today at Rugby Hall. So get your cameras out.
You can see how they've been jostled around them too.
But that bunting is still in place. It shows the skill of these times.
Through again.
That's Alex in red.
There goes
Dave in the silver. Richard in the yellow and red. And finally Adam in yellow.
Yep. Spitfire story goes back to March 1936. Introduced into service with number 19 Squadron in August 1938, with number 19 Squadron there at Dazzling. Of course, ironically, Dazzling is now considered to be the home of the Spitfire. Not only did they build 20,000 of these machines, but they also built the navalised version, the Seafire, and there were just over 2,300 of those built in 8 different variants. conflicts, including those between Israel and Egypt. They were flown alongside Jerusalem built actually one and another Israelis fighting side by side. This flight is dedicated today to Squadron Leader Mark Long from the Midlands Air Festival. From the carrier Aerobatic, French using those during the first Vietnam War. This particular machine was actually delivered in November, manufactured November, December 44, and delivered to number 16 Squadron. As a photo reconnaissance aircraft, it undertook a number of operations towards the end of World War II. Measure pressure, temperature, and humidity at various altitudes to assist in weather forecasting. On the 9th of June 1957, performed the last RAF flights with that temperature.
And have a chance to go out and help him with the balloon and become part of the balloon crew. Because then when you do that, you learn all about ballooning, you learn about balloons. You do an examination flight with an examiner and a solo flight, system exams, you can get your private pilot's license, and that's it, you can go out on your own. So we have our second balloon. The balloons are now starting to take off, to start chasing. You can see that the hair balloon, he's gone quite high. And as he's coming down, if you watch him, as he's descending now, he's turning back towards the left of his track. So his objective is to make his direction as difficult as he possibly can for the balloons that are chasing him. I don't know what the prize is tonight, actually. More liqueur. If you don't know about some more liqueur, going to fly tonight. And that'll be our first special shape. Hopefully we're going to see some more a little later. And again, the shapes may wait until later because it means the ground wind means obviously that they probably want to take off later in the session. And we have plenty of time because we still to be able to get these balloons in the air. As they fly, give them a cheer, give them a wave. Now, as he turns as well, you can see a little panel at the side just by the flag. This is actually an intentional hole in the side of the balloon. This is called a rotation vent. Basically, it's like a little jet engine. So the pilot can actually pull the string in the basket. It opens that vent and the way he is going, rather than walking round and round inside the basket. We have one of our very small balloons now taking off from the back ones. 42,000 cubic. You can agree with me, it's well worth the wait. You've seen all the airshow stuff all the way through the day, and it's worth it just for the evening to be able to catch something as beautiful as that. As I say, it's a moment, it's that scale of the sky that they're flying into. A beautiful sunset this evening here, Ragley Hall. We've always been blessed with wonderful weather here. Tonight is no exception. Big enough to be able to carry Derek and his fuel and his water pistol in a little seat. And obviously it flies in exactly the same way as the main balloons. It's just that it's not big enough to be able to put a basket on it. We've got some more now. Launching through these other balloons that are actually inflating now. Yeah. There he goes, he's cleared those. It's another cow. It's a little cow. I'm just trying to see what's at the bottom of it. But it's exactly the same way, but they have a radio controlled burner blast valve. But when you get to see them really close up, do have a look at them. The quality of the manufacturing of the baskets is absolutely amazing, and they are little tiny replicas of their bigger brothers. There goes Lindstrand. Wave to the guys at Lindstrand. His way across the field. So brought out, restored, brought back to flying condition, and not sure we'll get that tonight, but it would be cool. Another one of our competition racer balloons going off there. Very pretty one with all the vertical and next to Iggy is Slick. Slick the Dragon was a promotional one for a company called Palletways, hence the reason why he's sitting on a pallet. He's Welsh. And Bloomley the Cow is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Our first, what I would classify as exotic special shape, all the way from Switzerland. Here comes Bloomley the Cow. Now give him a huge Ragley Hall cheer, ladies and gentlemen. That looks fantastic. What an amazing sight in the sunshine. Beautiful. Yeah, don't forget they can hear you from down here, up there. That's Stefu as he flies over. Our dragons, our elephants, our cows and our sheep. As I say, this is definitely a real flock here tonight at Midlands Air Festival 2024. You have been privileged to see a complete herd of balloons. And if she's really good, she might just turn around and smile back at us. Who remembers the magic roundabout? Do you remember Ermintrude? It's a much tougher fabric called Hyperlast. If you have them, and we want a Ragley Hall cheer for Izzy the baby dragon, all the way from the Netherlands. What's she doing? We're looking at her tail. So hopefully as he comes around, he'll spin around and give us a nice little smile. Here in this beautiful light here at Ragley Hall. If we're lucky, we might get a beam of sunlight bursting through, which would be brilliant to catch him as he comes over. Here he goes, spinning around. Okay, get your cameras ready, everyone at that end of the field, because you're going to get a full-on shot of Izzy the baby dragon. Give him a huge cheer, give him a wave. What a wonderful sight. Isn't he cute? That's fantastic. Is he coming in across the... I suppose I know why he's called Izzy now. Is he going to fly? Is he not? And obviously he did. But is he going to land? Here he goes. Looks like he's looking for a nice spot. And as typical in ballooning, he's probably got one of those cars directly in his path. There you go. Izzy's making a landing. So our City Destroyer is taking off there, Thomas, on board, all the way from Netherlands, and there are aliens in there as well. We seem to have a lot of aliens around at the moment. We're being invaded. Absolutely fantastic. Again, totally sort of, I would say, alien to the normal shape that you would find in a hot air balloon. They tend to be sort of tall and thin. This one obviously is short and wide. His divine benevolence has now touched down, decided he's not going to go and chase his ride. Say hi. Slick's just launched from. A very venerable balloon there, which is owned by another one of the collectors, Damien. And you're not seeing so many of the balloons that launched earlier on, because now they're looking to